Hi dear friends and subscribers, welcome to the Cricket Happening Show. This on a Sunday with your host Ram. Unfortunately, as you know, this Cricket Happening Show is a bit late today. I'm sorry about it, dear friends and subscribers. But I know, dear friends and subscribers, you have been a pretty good bunch of subscribers, and you would be, I know for a fact, that you would all be waiting for me to talk on this Cricket Happening Show. Well, here I begin with two matches today, and as I said, both the matches were of great importance for Pakistan to keep their hopes alive. They had to beat Bangladesh, and they did it in a very comfortable manner in the match against Bangladesh, where Pakistan won the match by a margin of 50 runs. And as far as Australia were concerned, now once as I said, the Australia's chances hinged on Bangladesh actually beating on Pakistan. That would have been an upset, but well, nothing of that sort happened, and Australia. Once the match between Bangladesh and Pakistan were over, Australia's campaign in the World Cup had ended, and the match between India and Australia was just a mere formality. But well, the way in which Australia really succumbed to the Indian spinners was something pretty hard to really digest. But that was the case, even though India really put up a decent score on the board of 159 for 7 wickets, but the Australian batsmen, I thought they were a bit reckless, and it looked like, probably they were only intent on really going and hitting the spinners, and one can understand that, the morale would have been down because they had actually not qualified. I mean, they actually their chances were gone once Bangladesh lost to Pakistan, and that's what precisely happened. And Australia didn't really look like making any match of it, and if you look at the score, it really makes pathetic reading, because Australia were bundled out for 86 by the Indian spinners, especially Ravichandran Ashwin, the man of the match, who took 4 wickets for 11 runs. Yes, not taking any credit away from the Indian bowlers, but I thought Australia could have shown some more sort of restraint and some more sort of more responsibility, but unfortunately that was not the case, and the Indians were victors. Not only that, in the preliminary rounds, India completed the preliminary rounds of the T20 World Cup with a clean slate, winning all the matches that they have played in the T20 World Cup 2014. And as you know, they are already there into the semi-finals, and they would be awaiting the game tomorrow between Sri Lanka and New Zealand. Which is going to be a very important match, because whichever team wins are getting into the semi-finals from that particular group. And so India would be India would be probably playing South Africa, but tomorrow there's a very big match coming up. But let me start off with the match, the 27th match, which was played between Bangladesh and Pakistan, where it was Pakistan who actually batted first. And as far as the Pakistan's innings were concerned, today it was the first century hit in 2020 World Cup by a Pakistani batsman, and that belonged to Ahmed Shehzad, who cracked an unbeaten 111 runs of just 62 deliveries with 10 fours and 5 sixes, and that was what enabled Pakistan. But what was more important is, if we look at the score of Pakistan, they made 190 for 5 of their 20 overs at a clip of 9.50 runs per over. But what was very important, the lion's share, more than the lion's share of the runs, was scored by Ahmed Shehzad, the Pakistani opener, who actually went on to make 111 runs of 62 balls, 10 fours and 5 sixes, thus becoming the first Pakistani batsman in the T20 World Cups to actually score a century. And what a knock that was. It was a knock where Ahmed Shehzad, if you see that it's only 79 runs that the other batsman made, and the contribution was coming in from Shoaib Malik, who made 26 of 23 balls with 2 fours, and Shahid Afridi, who smoked 22 of just 9 deliveries towards the end with 1 four and 2 sixes. And what was very important about Ahmed Shehzad's innings was Ahmed Shehzad was looking pretty severe, in the sense he was right from the word go, aggression was all written over the strokes that he was playing, because what he was doing is he was actually trying to disturb the line and length of the bowlers by starting moving inside the crease. In fact, his movement was so precise, that shows what good reflexes and what good eyesight Ahmed Shehzad had, because what he was doing was that he was moving on the crease when the pace bowlers Mashraf Murtaza and Al Amin Hussain were bowling, and he was really making, and at the point of delivery he used to stand firm and then give direction to the ball and stroke it in a very, very nice manner. And that was the feature as far as Ahmed Shehzad's innings was concerned. And look at the damage that he created to the Bangladeshi bowlers. Mashraf Murtaza's 4 overs was carted for 63 runs. It was absolutely mayhem for Mashraf Murtaza. Al Amin Hussain 4 overs 1 for 37. Shakib Al Hasan was the most economical of the lot, 1 for 21 of his full quota, 2 for 20. In fact, spinners were the ones who actually started getting the wickets. Because Pakistan lost the wicket of Kamran Akmal, the opener, after hitting 2 boundaries. He was caught by Ziaur Rahman of the bowling of Abdul Razzaq Fanan. So he was the one who actually gave the breakthrough. Mohammad Hafiz, the captain, followed him to the pavilion, again stumped by the Mushfiqur Rahimi of the bowling of Abdul Razzaq for 8 of 12 balls. And Umar Akmal, the man in form in the T20 World Cup, was out for a duck to the bowling of Mahmudullah. So the spinners were totally on the Pakistani batsmen. And but one person who stood out there was Ahmed Shehzad, who got to an unbeaten 111 runs. And well, as you know, definitely there is no other person other than Ahmed Shehzad to actually take the man of the match, and that was it. So 190 for 5 was what they put on the board. Mahmudullah 3 overs 1 for 24, and Ziaur Rahman 1 over none for 22. So Pakistan put a very, very good score of 190 for 5 of 20 overs. And one knew that it was going to be a very tough task for Bangladesh, but what Bangladesh did best was they started off in right earnest with both the openers Tamim Iqbal and Anamul Haq playing some strokes, and well, Mohammad Hafiz, who actually bowled the first over, and Sohail Tanveer today, who played, were going for runs, and then they had to get Umar Gul into the attack, and Umar Gul responded, even though he was also hit for a few. Umar Gul came and responded in the best manner by picking up first the wicket of Tamim Iqbal, was bowled by Gul for 16 of 15 balls with 2 fours. That was the first wicket to go with the score, the Bangladeshi score on 30. After that, Anamul Haq and Shakib Al Hasan. Shakib Al Hasan was promoted. He came in 1 drop today and joined Anamul Haq. Anamul Haq, well, he looked good in his knock of 18 of 16 balls before a Saeed Ajmal delivery actually did him in, as he was clean bowled for 18 of 16 balls. Shamsul Rahman, the other day, who played an irresponsible stroke against India, couldn't do much today, as Shahid Afridi got the better of him by getting him caught behind for 4 of 12 balls. And Zulfikar Babar added up to the miseries of the Bangladeshi innings, as he got Mushfiqur Rahim LBW with a ball that pitched in straight and kept coming straight, and Mushfiqur Rahim, missing on the stroke, was wrapped on the pads, and he was LBW bowled Zulfikar Babar for 2 of 4 balls. So that meant and Bangladesh were tottering at that stage at 47 for 4, with only Shakib Al Hasan, the most experienced batsman, to the crease. He was joined in by Nasir Hussain. Nasir Hussain definitely showed where he belonged by playing some nice strokes, but well, it was finally, in the sense, the run rate was really climbing up at that particular stage, and it really required some momentum into the innings, and that particular momentum was provided by the experienced Shakib Hasan. And also Nasir Hussain also played, as I said, made 23 of 19 balls. But what was the problem for Bangladesh was that there was no stability in their batting. Nobody could really stand there and support Shakib Al Hasan, and Shakib Al Hasan had only one way to play, and that was to hit the ball out of the park. Well, he started doing that. 2 balls he actually did hit the ball out of the park of the bowling of Umar Gul, but it was Umar Gul in the same over picking up his wicket, as Shakib Al Hasan was trying one too many, and he perished. Caught Umar Akmal, bowled Umar Gul for 38 of 32 balls with 2 fours and 2 sixes, and he was the highest scorer in this Bangladeshi innings. After that, there was nothing that the Bangladeshi batsman could do. Nasir Hussain was stumped by Kamran Akmal of the bowling of Ajmal for 23 of 19 balls with 1 4 and 1 6. Ziaur Rahman was caught by Kamran Akmal of Gul for a duck, and finally with some nice blows by Mahmudullah, who contributed 17 of, in fact, Mashraf Murtaza, who contributed unbeaten 17 of 9 balls with 4 fours, and Mahmudullah with not out on 17 of 12 balls, and Bangladesh finishing at 140 for 7 of their 20 overs, thus losing the match against Pakistan by 50 runs. And also that was the end for Bangladesh as far as the T20 World Cup is concerned, in the sense they lost that particular match, and it enabled Pakistan now to keep their hopes alive for the semi-final. And as you know, Pakistan would be taking on West Indies in Dhaka, and that will be an important game. And Bangladesh still have one more game to play against Australia. So 140 for 7. And bowling, well, other than Hafiz 3 overs none for 16 and Sohail Tanvir 3 overs none for 26, the other bowlers all chipped in with the wickets. Umar Gul 4 overs no maiden 3 for 30, Ajmal 3 overs 2 for 20, Zulfikar Babar 3 overs 1 for 24, and Shahid Afridi 4 overs 1 for 21. As I said, Ahmed Shehzad took the man of the match, and Bangladesh losing this match to Pakistan and allowing Pakistan to keep their semi-final hopes alive with that very crucial encounter coming in between Pakistan and West Indies, which will determine which is the team which would be going on to join India in that particular group, that is Group 2. India is already there in the semi-finals, as you know, so it's only a matter of seeing which is the other team which is going to go from Group 2, and that match would be decided when Pakistan take on West Indies at Dhaka. Well, so that is as far as this match is concerned. Now let's look at the other match, the 28th match that happened today at the Sher-e-Bangla National Stadium in Mirpur. It was between Australia versus India. India had nothing to lose and everything to go for, and that's the reason India did experiment today. They gave a T20 debut to Mohit Sharma, the pace bowler, who also plays for Chennai Super Kings, as you know, and also Ajinkya Rahane got his first game in the T20 World Cup, and they decided to rest the out of form Shikhar Dhawan. Well, it all started with India actually. In fact, Australia were the ones. For a change, Dhoni, who has been winning the toss throughout this T20 World Cup, had the luck of the dice going the other way, with Australia winning the toss and inserting India in. And India, well, they were in early trouble. They lost the first wicket pretty early on in the start, when Rohit Sharma was caught by Muirhead of the bowling of Brad Hodge, who started proceedings. He was gone for 5, and after that it was Ajinkya Rahane and Virat Kohli at the crease. Virat Kohli, well, his presence at the crease is something which is always confidence personified, and that's what he showed with his very nice stroke making. Ajinkya Rahane, on the other hand, was taking it easy, but one of the shots that he played was a real treat to watch, where he actually he started using his feet against Mitchell Starc and drove him through the offside for a brilliant 4. And both of them had actually taken the score to 46, and that was the time Muirhead, in fact, I would say, he was bowling his very first delivery as far as an Indian batsman was concerned. And probably one would have thought that Ajinkya Rahane and Virat Kohli, good players of spin at the crease, Muirhead could be easily handled. But Muirhead, in fact, gave Australia tremendous joy as he picked up the wicket of the very first ball that he bowled to the Indians. And I'm sure this is the first ball ever bowled by James Muirhead, the right-arm leg spinner, to an Indian batsman. And that brought the end of Virat Kohli, as Virat Kohli tried to loft Muirhead, Cameron White taking the catch. He was gone for 23 of 22 balls with 2 fours and 1 6. So that made the score 46 for 2 in the 7th over. Ajinkya Rahane was joined in by the out-of-form Yuvraj Singh. So all the eyes were on Yuvraj Singh, because Yuvraj Singh has got an opportunity. A lifeline had been given to him, in the sense he has not been really performing in this T20 World Cup, and one definitely expected him to do well. And well, Yuvraj Singh, let me tell you, he definitely didn't disappoint. But before that, he lost Ajinkya Rahane, who was caught behind the bowling of Bollinger for 19 of 16 balls with 2 fours. But Yuvraj Singh took his time at the crease, started getting his eye in, played some strokes, a bit I would say a bit streaky, but then slowly started off with a beautiful boundary that he carries through the offside, and slowly his confidence started getting up and up. Suresh Raina and his company made 6 runs of 10 balls, becoming a victim of Maxwell, and India was 66 for 4. In fact, the Australian bowlers were doing a great job at that particular time by establishing a very good stranglehold over the Indians. And if you look at the score, India were really, I would say, struggling at a score of 66 for 4. In came Mahendra Singh Dhoni, the Indian captain, to join Yuvraj Singh, and then in the company of Dhoni, Yuvraj Singh's confidence definitely soared, I would say, at least went up a notch, as Yuvraj Singh and Dhoni also took their time initially Dhoni also took the number. Till the 15 overs, things were pretty sedate for India. But after that, it was real spanking stuff coming in from both the batsmen. Dhoni was the one who started it all with a very good 6 into the bowling, and then finally Yuvraj Singh joined, and we all saw the Yuvraj Singh that one was waiting to see here, as he started pummeling boundaries and sixes at will, and he was really getting. In fact, Muirhead was hit for 2 sixes. He went after the other bowlers too. He went after Shane Watson and deposited him for the 6. And Yuvraj Singh was showing that the Yuvraj Singh that we all know of, and what a great feeling for Yuvraj Singh by playing this wonderful knock. And this partnership was something which was hurting the Australians, because Australia, as I said, had really maintained a good stranglehold on the Indians. But this particular partnership really let everything go, because the partnership took some time at the crease, but brought a lot of runs for India. In fact, there was 84 runs partnership for this particular wicket, that is the 5th wicket, and it occupied, I would say, it was, if you look at it, approximately 42 balls they took to make those 66 runs, with Dhoni being clean bowled by Stark for 24 of 20 balls with 1 4 and 1 6, and then we had a brief, and then Yuvraj Singh finally trying to get more good runs for India, reached his 50, and finally his contribution was 60 out of 43 deliveries, 5 4s and 4 6s, and that got the Indian score onto a respectable 159 for 7 of the 20 overs. Jadeja was run out for 3, Ashwin not out 2, Bhuvneshwar Kumar not out not. Looking at the Australian bowling, which was looking very sharp, which was looking very good, they definitely had the edge over the Indian batsmen today. Brad Hodge, 2 overs 1 for 13. Maxwell bowled 4 overs 1 for 20. They used a lot of spinners today. Mitchell Stark 4 overs 1 for 36 was good enough, and Watson 4 overs 1 for 36, 4 overs 1 for 24. So looking at the bowling figures, and 2 overs for 24 for Muirhead, who after getting a bit of a mauling from Yuvraj Singh's bat, never came on to bowl his full quota. Now for India, the good thing was that Yuvraj Singh has hit form at the right time for the semi-finals. And now let's have a look at the Australian innings. Now Australian innings, as I said, they were absolutely down and out of the T20 World Cup, and one would have probably expected the 159 score was definitely something on the cards for Australia. But as far as India were concerned, it was a very good start provided by the Indian bowlers. They started keeping the batsmen quiet. It was done by the T20 debutant Mohit Sharma, along with him Bhuvneshwar Kumar, and both of them really, I would say they bowled very well to keep the Australian openers to just 13 runs in 20 balls. But after that, the Australian totally, I mean, if you look at it, it all started with Ravichandran Ashwin being introduced into the attack as first change by Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and Ravichandran Ashwin had already started his trade game here by first picking up the wicket of Aaron Finch, who was caught by Kohli for 6 of 11 balls with 1 4. So that made the score 13 for 1. After that, Bhuvneshwar Kumar picked up the wicket of Cameron White for a duck. Cameron White playing his first game in this T20 World Cup. So that made it 19 for 2 in the 5th over. And then it was Shane Watson who was bowled by a very good delivery from Mohit Sharma. He was gone for 1, and that made the score 21 for 3 in the 6th over. And then David Warner, who was staying there, had 1 4 and 1 6 in his knock of 19, was the third victim of Ashwin, as he was caught by Rohit Sharma, the bowling of Ashwin, for 19 of 21 balls with 1 4 and 1 6. And the Australian score was almost similar to India, a bit lesser than India, I would say. 44 for 4 at that stage when Warner departed, 8 overs gone, and Maxwell was at the crease along with the captain George Bailey. Well, Maxwell decided there's only one way to deal with the Indian spinners, and that was to hit them for sixes, and that's what he precisely did. He contributed the highest score for Australia in a score of 86 by spanking the spinners for sixes and contributing 23 runs of 12 balls with 3 sixes. But, well, Ravichandran Ashwin disturbed the timber of Maxwell, and he was gone. So that made it the half the side, the Australian side, were back in the pavilion at 55 for 5 in the 10th over, and that was putting in a lot of pressure on the Australian batsmen. So the Indian spinners had done a wonderful job there, supported very nicely by Bhuvneshwar Kumar and Mohit Sharma at the start. After that, the things were becoming pretty difficult as the other spinners also came into the equation, with Jadeja being pressed into service, and Jadeja picked up the wicket of George Bailey as he was gone for 8 of 10 balls with 8 of 10 balls with 1 6. That made the score 63 for 6. Brad Haddin was out. Mishra came in and started weaving his magic here by picking up 2 wickets. First he picked up the wicket of Brad Hodge for 13 of 18 balls, and also Mitchell Starc. And after that he also picked up Brad Haddin and Brad Hodge pretty quickly, and that left the score at 75 for 7. And then, well, it was the tailenders in charge now. Starc and Muirhead were the crease. In fact, Starc and Hodge were the crease, but Starc was run out for 2. And then Brad Hodge was trying to stay there, but as you know, the run rate was mounting at that particular stage, and Brad Hodge had to go for the runs, and Brad Hodge succumbed, caught Jadeja, bowled Mishra for 13, and finally Muirhead was caught behind with the bowling of Ashwin. Ashwin getting his 4th scalp here for just 11 runs by bowling 3.2 overs. Bollinger was not out on 1, and Australia put up a very, very poor show against the Indians by being all out for 86, offering no fight at all. And India, as I said, keeping a clean slate in this T20 World Cup, going on to win the match by 73 runs, and this would do them a great deal of good going into the semi-finals. Now, for Australia, one thing that I would like to say here is that reckless batting? One does not know. They still have one more game to go against Bangladesh, as you know. But yes, definitely Australia are out of the World Cup. But one probably didn't expect such a fare being dished out by the Australian batsmen. And well, definite credit goes to the Indian bowling. Like Bhuvneshwar Kumar, 3 overs no maiden, 1 for 7, absolutely on the money. Mohit Sharma on his debut, 2 overs 11 runs, and also picking up the wicket of Shane Watson by castling him. Ravichandran Ashwin, as I said, the man of the match, 3.2 overs no maiden, 11 runs and 4 wickets. Tremendous bowling performance from Ravichandran Ashwin. 1 over for 16 from Suresh Rana when he got the tap from Glenn Maxwell. And Jadeja bowling 4 overs, 1 for 25. And Amit Mishra not completing his quota, 3 overs no maiden, 2 for 13. And Ravichandran Ashwin taking the man of the match. One thing that I could tell here is that probably there was some reckless Australian batting. It's like they didn't really have a sort of a commitment, because one does not understand how could Australia be all out for 86. As I said, the Indian bowlers definitely bowled well, but one did not think that Australia really played with their hearts into that game, and I thought that was probably the reason that Australia could not muster. They could not muster even 100 runs, chasing 159. 86 is too poor a show to really give any excuses. So they were all out for 86. Well, anyways, so that is all over as far as so those were the 2 matches that were being played, and now we are going to come to 2 matches tomorrow, which is coming up. The first match, well, England will definitely have, even though England are out of the World Cup, they will definitely have nightmares about the 2009 T20 World Cup, where Netherlands upset England. So England would definitely be wary of that. And they also know that Netherlands definitely gave a real scare to South Africa in this T20 World Cup. So England would definitely be seeing to it that they don't take anything slightly. So they are taking on Netherlands tomorrow at Chittagong. That will be the first match. And then the key match which is going on there in Group 1, which is going to decide which team would be getting on to the semi-finals to join South Africa, and that would be from Group 1. South Africa has already qualified, as you know. So New Zealand and Sri Lanka clash tomorrow at Chittagong, and well, the team that wins marches to the semi-finals along with South Africa from Group 2. So whether it is going to be Sri Lanka or it is going to be New Zealand will be known tomorrow. But my money is definitely on Sri Lanka. The reason being, New Zealand definitely have a sort of a not a big fallibility, but they definitely they are a bit suspect against spin. So I tend to feel that Sri Lanka might have a lot of spinners in their armory tomorrow, and they might attack, and that might be a sort of an approach that Sri Lanka might have tomorrow. But let's wait and watch. And as I said, tomorrow there are going to be 2 matches coming up. Well, that really completes my late cricket happening show, unfortunately, on this Sunday due to a lot of other household commitments. Thanks for your company. Thanks for your patience in waiting for this cricket happenings today. Your host Ram will be seeing you tomorrow with two match reports on those matches that I talked about. Until then, it's good night from your host Ram. Thank you.